The scream echoed through the bustling streets of Manhattan like a gunshot in the dead of night, freezing pedestrians in their tracks as a body plummeted from the towering rooftop of the New York Herald building. It was Chris Harlan, the star investigative journalist whose exposes had toppled corrupt officials and won Pulitzers. Now a tragic headline, himself, his life ending in a smear of red on the sidewalk below. My husband, Ben, who had loved him fiercely years ago, collapsed in our Brooklyn apartment when the news broke, whispering through sobs that he needed to divorce me, to follow Chris into whatever abyss had claimed him, as if death's grip had already pulled him under. I stood there, heart shattering like glass underfoot, watching the man I'd built a life with unravel before my eyes. Ben and I had met 5 years earlier at a pride parade in Greenwich Village, our hands brushing amid rainbow flags and chants of equality. We'd married in a small ceremony overlooking Central Park, vowing to weather any storm. But now, with Chris's suicide ripping open old wounds, Ben's eyes held a haunted void I'd never seen. And I knew this wasn't just grief, it was a reckoning with a love that had never fully died. That first night, I held Ben as he trembled on our couch, the city lights flickering through the window like mocking stars. He called me last week, Ben confessed, his voice raw and broken. Said he couldn't take the pressure anymore, the threats from sources he'd burned, the isolation. I told him to hang on, but I didn't push harder. God, Alex, what if I could have saved him? His words hung heavy, laced with guilt that twisted like a knife in my gut. I stroked his hair, whispering assurances. But inside, fear clawed at me. Was our marriage just a bandage over a festering scar from his past with Chris? As dawn broke over the East River, I convinced Ben to see a therapist. But he resisted, claiming divorce was the only way to honor Chris's memory, free himself from the life we'd built, and chase the ghost of what once was. I refused to sign the papers he thrust at me, my hand shaking. This isn't following him, Ben. This is running away from us. Our arguments escalated in the following days, echoing through our brownstone like thunderclaps. Friends called, concerned, but I shielded him, determined to uncover why Chris's death had shattered him so profoundly. Digging into Chris's life felt like invading a sacred tomb. I scrolled through old social media posts, piecing together their history. Ben and Chris had been college sweethearts at Columbia, passionate activists in the early 2010s, fighting for marriage equality while stealing kisses in dimly lit bars. Their breakup had been messy, Chris's ambition pulling him toward dangerous stories in war zones, Ben craving stability. Yet, the love lingered, evident in faded photos of them laughing on Fire Island beaches, arms entwined. One evening, as rain pelted our windows, Ben broke down again. Chris was my first everything. Alex. He taught me to love without fear, in a world that still hated us for it. Tears streamed down his face, and I pulled him close, our bodies fitting together like puzzle pieces forged in fire. In that moment, amid the storm, a spark of our own romance reignited, a tender kiss that tasted of salt and desperation, reminding me why I'd fallen for this complex, beautiful man. But the drama intensified when an anonymous letter arrived, postmarked from the Herald. It hinted at foul play in Chris's death. He didn't jump. He was pushed. Look into Senator Graves. My pulse raced. Graves was a powerful conservative Ben and Chris had once targeted in an expose on anti-LGBT legislation. Was this suicide or murder? I urged Ben to investigate with me, hoping it would pull him from his despair. We dove in together, late nights poring over Chris's old files I'd retrieved from his sister. The air crackled with tension, our hands brushing as we uncovered emails threatening Chris's life. In one heated moment, Ben slammed the laptop shut. This is too much. I should have been there for him. I cupped his face. You're here now? With me. Let's honor him by finding the truth. Our eyes locked, and for the first time since the tragedy, desire flickered our lips, meeting in a passionate embrace that blurred grief and love. As we unraveled the conspiracy, danger loomed. A shadowy figure tailed us through Times Square's neon chaos. And Ben received a chilling call. Drop it. Or join Harlan. Fear gripped us, but it bonded us deeper. In a safe house upstate, hiding from potential threats, we shared stories under starlit skies, Ben opening up about his internalized shame from a conservative upbringing, how Chris had liberated him, and how I'd grounded him in joy. Yet, doubt crept in. Ben's mood swung wildly. One night, he packed a bag, insisting divorce was inevitable. I can't drag you into this darkness. Alex. I blocked the door, voice trembling. Our love isn't a Kaji, it's a light. Fight for us. We argued until dawn, bodies collapsing in exhaustion, only to wake tangled in sheets, making love with a fervor that spoke of survival. The breakthrough came when we hacked into Graves' email evidence of bribes to silence Chris. But as we prepared to go public, Ben faltered, whispering, "What if exposing this kills me inside? Chris died for the truth. Maybe I should too." My heart stopped. Was following him a euphemism for suicide? Panic surged as I realized the depth of his pain. I confronted him on our rooftop, wind whipping around us like accusations. Ben, Chris wouldn't want this. He loved life. Loved you enough to let you go. Tears fell as he admitted his survivor's guilt, the weight of unspoken regrets. In that vulnerable moment, we clung to each other, vowing therapy and truth. Submitting the evidence anonymously sparked a media frenzy. Graves resigned amid scandal. Ben's healing began slowly, counseling sessions where he unpacked layers of trauma, our marriage strengthening through shared vulnerability. Months later, at Chris's memorial in Central Park, Ben spoke eloquently of love's enduring power, how loss teaches us to cherish the living. As cherry blossoms fell like gentle rain, he turned to me. Alex, you're my anchor. Let's renew our vows. Our kiss sealed a future forged in fire, a testament to resilience and the human capacity for redemption. The scandal erupted like wildfire across cable news. Senator Graves' face plastered everywhere as indictments rolled in. Ben and I watched from our living room, a mix of triumph and sorrow washing over us. We did it for Chris, Ben murmured, his hand squeezing mine, but his eyes still held shadows, remnants of the man who'd nearly slipped away. In the aftermath, life tried to normalize, but Ben's request for divorce lingered like an unhealed bruise. He attended therapy twice a week in Midtown, unraveling threads of guilt woven deep into his psyche. Chris and I were fire and gasoline. He shared one evening over dinner at our favorite Italian spot in Little Italy. Passionate, destructive. With you, Alex. Its steady warmed the hearth I didn't know I needed. I nodded, but insecurity gnawed at me. Was I second best? That doubt fueled late-night walks along the Hudson, where I'd stare at the water's dark depths, questioning if our love could withstand the ghost between us. One such night, Ben found me there, wrapping his arms around me from behind. "You're not competing with a memory," he whispered. "You're my present, my future." Our intimacy deepened, bodies rediscovering each other in ways that healed wounds. Yet, drama reared its head when Chris's journal surfaced, delivered by his editor. Entries painted a vivid picture of their love-steamy nights in cheap motels during reporting trips, whispered promises under desert stars in Afghanistan. Reading it together, Ben's voice cracked. He wrote about our breakup. Said he pushed me away to protect me from his chaos. Tears flowed as we pored over the pages, but it sparked a turning point. "I see now," Ben said, closing the book. Chris wanted me happy. That's you. Alex. We made love that night with raw emotion. Bodies entwined in affirmation. But external threats persisted. Graves' allies, furious at his downfall, sent veiled warnings of brick through our window with a note. You next. Fear drove us to relocate temporarily to a friend's cabin in the Catskills, where isolation amplified our bond. Amid pine-scented air, we hiked trails, sharing dreams deferred, adopting a child, traveling to places Chris had loved. One stormy afternoon, trapped indoors, Ben confessed more. After Chris, I thought I'd never love again. Then you smiled at that parade, and everything shifted. His vulnerability ignited passion. We explored each other slowly, sensually, rain drumming like applause. Returning to the city, we faced a bombshell, a lawsuit from Graves claiming defamation. Our lawyer, a sharp queer advocate from ACLU ties, assured us victory. But the stress tested Ben. He withdrew. Nights spent staring at ceilings, muttering about following Chris in dreams. I rallied support our community of friends, fellow LGBTQ activists, gathered for interventions. Love like yours is rare. Our best friend Mia said. Fight for it. Inspired, I planned a surprise, a weekend in Provincetown, where gay history pulsed vibrantly. There, amid drag shows and beach walks, Ben opened up fully. The divorce talk was my way of punishing myself. I felt I didn't deserve happiness after failing Chris. Waves crashed as I replied. You deserve everything. We all carry scars. It's how we heal together that matters. Our nights were electric, bodies moving in rhythmic harmony, reaffirming commitment. But drama peaked when a stalker from Graves' camp cornered us in a bar. A scuffle ensued, Ben defending me fiercely, ending with police intervention. Adrenaline fueled, we returned home empowered. Ben tore up the divorce papers dramatically. No more running. Therapy progressed. He joined a support group for survivors of loss, finding solace in shared stories. As fall painted New York in golds and reds, we volunteered at an LGBT youth center, channeling pain into purpose. Ben mentored kids facing identity struggles, his empathy shining. This is how we honor Crisby lifting others. One crisp evening in Washington Square Park, under arching lights, Ben proposed renewal. Marry me again. Alex. For real this time. Without shadows. On one knee. Ring glinting. My yes echoed through the night. The ceremony was intimate. Friends toasting to resilience. As we danced, Ben whispered, You've saved me. Our kiss held promises of forever. A narrative of love triumphing over tragedy. Yet, life's twists continued. A letter from Chris's family revealed he'd left Ben an inheritance fund for journalism scholarships. Use it to make a difference. It read, We established the Harlan Foundation, focusing on queer voices in media. Challenges arose, Ben's occasional melancholy, my own fears of inadequacy. But we communicated, turning vulnerabilities into strengths. Intimacy evolved exploring fantasies, role-playing scenarios that blended past lessons with present joy. A year post-tragedy, at a gala for the foundation, Ben spoke eloquently. Loss teaches us love's fragility, but also its power to transform. Applause thundered as he pulled me on stage. Our hands linked, a symbol of enduring partnership. In quiet moments, we'd reflect on the journey, from rooftop despair to rooftop proposals. We'd renewed vows atop our building. Following Chris meant living fully. Ben said, Our story became a beacon, inspiring others in the community. As winter blanketed the city, we discussed family adoption papers filed, dreams of fatherhood blooming. Love, once fractured, now whole, proved that from ashes, beauty rises. With the foundation thriving, Ben dove into mentoring young journalists. His passion reignited without the peril Chris had faced. I supported from the sidelines. My graphic design career allowing flexibility to attend events. But beneath the surface, unresolved tensions simmered. Ben's nightmares of Chris's fall. Waking sweat-drenched. Calling his name. One therapy session unearthed a bombshell. Ben admitted lingering attraction to Chris's memory. Not as betrayal, but as unfinished business. It's like a song stuck in my head. He explained. Hurt stabbed deep. But I listened. Our dialogue raw and honest. We processed together. The therapist advised. That night, in our bedroom lit by city glow, we explored emotions physically slow. Intentional touches that reaffirmed us. You're my reality. Ben gasped. Intimacy bridged gaps, turning pain into connection. Drama escalated when a former colleague of Chris's, Elena, contacted us. Chris was investigating something bigger: corporate ties to graves that involved human trafficking in LGBT communities. Shocked, we met her in a dimly lit cafe in Chelsea, her eyes darting nervously. The file she provided revealed horrors. Exploited queer youth funneled through underground networks. Ben's face paled. Chris died for this. Determination flared. We vowed to continue his work, partnering with NGOs. But danger lurked. Threats intensified, phone calls at odd hours. Back off or in like Harlan. Paranoia gripped us. We installed security. Our home feeling like a fortress. Intense moments. We'd hold each other, whispering affirmations. A romantic getaway to the Hamptons provided respite. Beach walks hand in hand. Sunsets painting skies in pinks and oranges. Remember our first date? Ben asked. Toes in sand. You made me laugh till my sides hurt. We recreated it: picnic. Wine. Leading to passionate lovemaking under stars. Waves serenading. Back in the city. Investigation heated. We infiltrated a gala hosted by suspects. Disguised in tuxes. Hearts pounding. Ben's charm extracted confessions. My keen eye spotted anomalies. But a near-miss poisoned drink sent us fleeing. Adrenaline surging. In the safe aftermath, bodies crashed together in urgent need. Sweat-slicked skin affirming life. We can't stop now. Ben panted. Our bond, forged in fire, grew unbreakable. Personal growth paralleled. I joined a support group for partners of trauma survivors. Learning to set boundaries. Ben explored meditation, finding peace in yoga studios overlooking Bryant Park. A twist came via leaked documents. Chris had faked parts of his suicide note to protect sources. Was it murder disguised? Autopsy reviews confirmed foul play pushed, not jumped. Grief renewed. Ben raged, but channeled it productively. We went public through allies and media. Articles exploding online. Public outcry demanded justice. Arrests followed. Triumph tasted bittersweet. Ben toasting Chris's photo. You won. Love. Healing deepened our romance. Spontaneous dates, Broadway shows. Rooftop dinners rekindled sparks. One evening, atop the Empire State Building, Ben confessed, I thought divorce would free me from guilt. Instead, you've freed me to love fully. Our physical connection evolved, experimenting with trust-building exercises. Bodies syncing in harmonious rhythm. Laughter returned, banishing shadows. Community impact grew. The foundation hosted workshops on mental health and journalism. Ben's speeches moving audiences to tears. Love isn't perfect, it's persistent, he'd say, glancing at me. Challenges persisted, adoption hurdles due to our high-profile case. But we persevered, attending classes, dreaming of a child filling our home with joy. As spring bloomed, we traveled to San Francisco, tracing LGBT history at Stonewall equivalents. Amid Castro's vibrancy, Ben proposed a vow renewal tattoo interlocking rings symbolizing eternity. Ink fresh. We celebrated intimately. Bodies celebrating union. Forever yours. Ben murmured. Back home. A surprise. Elena revealed Chris's final message to Ben. Hidden in code. Live boldly. Love fiercely. Alex is your light. Tears flowed. Closure settling like gentle snow. With justice served, perpetrators imprisoned, Ben's burdens lifted. Our story inspired a documentary, highlighting resilience in queer love. In quiet reflection, we'd acknowledge growth, from crisis to compassion. Tragedy birthing purpose. Love, once tested, emerged stronger. A beacon for others navigating darkness. But fame brought troll-shateful online comments questioning our marriage's authenticity. Dredging up Ben's past with Chris. You're just a rebound. One messaged. Insecurity flared. I confronted Ben tearfully. Am I enough? He pulled me close. More than enough, Yuri, everything. That night, we reaffirmed through tender caresses. Body speaking truths words couldn't. Investigation remnants lingered. Loose ends tied when a whistleblower confirmed the trafficking ring's dismantlement. Relief washed over us. Toasting with champagne on our balcony. Personal milestones loomed. Our adoption application advanced. Meeting a young boy. Jamie. Orphaned by similar tragedies. He reminds me of Chris' fiery spirit. Ben noted during visits. Bonding with Jamie deepened our partnership. Late nights discussing parenting philosophies. We'll teach him love knows no bounds. I said. Ben smiled. Eyes soft. Romance flourished amid chaos. Surprise weekends to Niagara Falls, where mist-shrouded views mirrored our misty-eyed gazes. Lovemaking in hotel suites. Exploring desires with newfound freedom. A setback hit when Ben relapsed into depression, triggered by anniversary of Chris's death. He isolated, whispering about following. Alarmed, I arranged an intervention with therapists and friends. Confrontation was intense. I feel like a fraud happy while he's gone. Tears streamed as group shared stories, reminding him healing isn't linear. I held him through night. Our embrace a lifeline. Recovery involved couples therapy, unpacking jealousies and fears. Chris was passion. Your peace. Ben affirmed. Sessions ended in homework date nights, reinforcing bonds. Foundation expanded, funding scholarships for queer youth and media. Ben mentored Jamie informally, sparking joy. This is legacy. He beamed. Drama resurfaced via a lawsuit from a Ring member, claiming slander. Court battles stressed, but unity prevailed. Testifying hand in hand. Truth triumphed, case dismissed. Post-victory, we escaped to Key West, biking through palm-lined streets, snorkeling in crystal waters, evenings on beaches, bodies entwined under sunsets, passion reigniting like first love. Homeward, Jamie's adoption finalized, a family born from ashes. His laughter filled rooms, healing old wounds. Ben's growth shone. He authored a book on his journey, Shadows of Love, becoming a bestseller. Readings drew crowds, messages of hope pouring in. Our intimacy matured, sensual massages, role reversals blending playfulness with depth. You've taught me trust, Ben whispered. Community events celebrated us, pride parades where we marched with Jamie, flags waving proudly. Reflections on the rooftop where it began, from despair to delight. Ben mused. Our kiss sealed gratitude. As years hinted, love's tapestry wove richer, challenges met with grace. Romance enduring. Jamie's arrival transformed our Brooklyn home into a haven of chaos and joy. Toys scattered like confetti, his giggles echoing off walls. At 7, with curly hair and inquisitive eyes, he asked about Chris one evening over pizza. Was he like an uncle? Ben paused, voice steady. More like a hero who taught me to be brave. We shared age-appropriate stories, emphasizing love's many forms. That night, tucking him in, Ben and I exchanged glances, parenthood amplifying our bond. Daily life balanced work, school runs, and foundation duties. Ben's book tour took him cross-country. Video calls bridging distances. Miss you, he'd say, screen glowing with affection. Absence stirred longing. Reunions, explosive doors barely closed before clothes shed. Bodies reuniting in fervent embrace. A new thread emerged, a copycat scandal. Journalists targeted for LGBT advocacy. Ben, vocal in media, received harassments. Not again. He groaned. We fortified, hiring protection. But tension mounted. One night, intruder alarm blared. False. But fear lingered. In aftermath, we clung, lovemaking a defiant act of life. Therapy continued. Tools for anxiety honed. We're stronger together. Therapist noted. Jamie's school project on family trees prompted deep talks. Too dad's cool. He beamed, drawing us with Chris as a star above. Romance sparked in small ways, notes and lunches. Stolen kisses in kitchens. Foundation hosted a gala, raising funds amid glamour. Ben's speech moved, from personal loss to communal gain. Love prevails. Post-event, hotel suite passion champagne fueled. Exploratory delights celebrating victories. Challenges with Jamie, bullying at school for different family. We advocated, turning pain to teach empathy. Ben's mentorship expanded, guiding more youth. You're changing lives. I praised. Travel as family, Disney World, where magic mirrored our journey from dark to light. Intimacy evolved, incorporating toys. Fantasies shared trustingly. Anniversary of wedding, rooftop picnic. Renewing vows privately. Through storms. You're my calm. Ben vowed. Book adapted to film. Consultations bringing Hollywood glitz. Our story on screen surreal. Ben laughed. Premiere night. Red carpet hand in hand with Jamie. Pride swelling. Reflections, tragedy, birth beauty. Love's resilience profound. The film's success amplified our platform. Invitations to speak at conferences from DC to LA. Ben thrived. His charisma drawing admirers. But fidelity remained rock solid. You're my home, he'd affirmed during travels. Distance tested. But technology bridged steamy video sessions, keeping flames alive. Jamie's growth, excelling in art. Inspired by my designs. Family nights painting. Laughter binding. A health scare. Ben's checkup revealed stress-related issues. Time to slow down. Doctor advised. We prioritized wellness yoga retreats in Sedona. Reconnecting spiritually. Amid red rocks. Meditations led to profound intimacy. Bodies and souls aligning. Back home. Foundation delegated more. Freeing time. Drama via film backlash. Conservative groups protested, promoting agenda. Threats resurfaced. But community rallied. We stood firm. Op-eds defending love's universality. Jamie's first Crucial boy prompted talks on identity. Love who you love. We encouraged. Romance reignited with date cruises on Hudson. Dancing under stars. Passion nights, exploring bondage lightly. Trust deepening. Milestone, 10th anniversary. Hawaiian getaway. Beaches and luau's. Vows renewed oceanside. Rings exchanged anew. From crisis to paradise. Ben toasted. Home. Adopting a puppy family complete. Ben's second book, Parenting in Queer Families. Insightful. Launches drew families. Stories shared tearfully. Challenges, Team Jamie's rebellion. But communication prevailed. Intimacy, weekend getaways. Rekindling sparks. Reflections on Chris, annual memorials. Honoring without haunting. Love's evolution, deeper, wiser, eternal. As Jamie entered teens, hormones raged arguments over curfews. But underlying love anchored. You're just like Dad, Ben stubborn. He'd tease. Ben's advocacy took him to Capitol Hill, testifying for protections. Pride swelled watching him on C-SPAN. Absences lengthened, but reunions sweeter airport embraces leading to home passion. Foundation globalized, aiding international LGBT journalists. Personal growth, I pursued masters in counseling. Inspired by our journey. Couples retreats strengthened. Exercises revealing layers. Drama, hack on foundation. Data stolen. Crisis management bonded us. Resolution, culprits caught. Security upgraded. Jamie's coming out as bi celebrated with cake. Acceptance flowing. Romance, European trip. Paris walks. Eiffel kisses. Lovemaking in historic hotels. Adventurous. Home. Community center named after Chris. Gala speeches, love conquers. Heals. Intimacy, tantric explorations. Connection profound. Anniversaries, quiet cabin escapes. Reflections. Ben's health improved. Balance achieved. Family vacations, African safaris. Wonders shared. Books co-authored. Legacies built. Challenges met gracefully. Love enduring. Years flowed. Jamie college-bound journalism major. Chris's influence living on. Empty nest bittersweet. But freed exploration. Ben retired partially. Focusing on us. Travels, Asia adventures. Cultures enriching. Romance blossomed anew spontaneous. Passionate. Foundation thrived under new leads. Our advisory roles. Health routines, runs in Central Park. Handholding. Intimacy, evolved sensually. Aging gracefully. Grand milestones, Jamie's wedding to partner. Tears of joy. Our story told in memoirs. Inspiring generations. Reflections on Rooftop, from tragedy to triumph, love's gift. Final whispers, gratitude for paths crossed. Hearts mended. In twilight years. Love's flame steady. Meaningful into legacy of humanity. Resilience. Romance eternal.